Yes, so welcome to episode 2 of the Celluloid Misfits. We're straight in on the Golden Harvest title there. Unfortunately, it's missing the giant golden G, which is my favourite opening of any movie. So, China O'Brien, Mark, you have not seen China O'Brien?
Never.
How exciting is it to be watching it on a VHS?
It's really exciting. This takes me back to literally my childhood. So it does. There she is.
There she is. So this was to be, basically, this was, Cynthia had started her movie career in Hong Kong as such. She did do another US movie before that we don't like to talk about, although we will cover. It's called 24 Hours to Midnight.
Oh,
you would have seen my review about it, possibly.
Yeah.
But we will get to that in another season.
Okay.
So Cynthia is, I think, as far as I'm aware, I think Cynthia was to shoot Armour of God with Jackie Chan.
Yes, in Hong Kong.
Yeah, because she was. That's one where he obviously had damaged his head from the tree fall.
Is that the one where she was supposed to do
She was going to be one of the monks.
Parallel from one building to another, and
I'm not too sure because it was quite. It wasn't set in much of a city in Armour of God. It was it was out in castles and it was out in the forest and stuff and on the mountains. So I'm not too sure if that was that movie, but because of Jackie's accident, and then obviously she was under contract with Golden Harvest.
Oh, okay.
She then was offered up this,
which was filmed back to back with the
part
second.
2, yeah.
Okay.
And I think it shows, although there was definitely more focus on part 1. Part 2 wasn't as good, I don't believe, but we're going to get to that later on in this season. So I like the fact that this has worked out for her, though, because this definitely made her a bit more of a household name with a Western audience, because she'd obviously done a number of Hong Kong movies up to this point. This was all about her now, and this was her speaking.
Oh, so she'd never English. Talked in a movie before?
Bar the early one, but no, this would be her first real kind of like English dialogue movie.
Okay, so for the record, I have never seen this film before in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I know nothing about it.
I know nothing.
Apart from Cynthia Softcock is in it.
Yes.
And
the wonderful
Keith
Cynthia.
Cooke and what's his name? Richard
Norton?
Yeah.
How could you look at this? Look at the wear. Look at the.
This is 80s fashion.
This is coming. Yeah, it's coming to the end of the 80s. Obviously, this would have been shot in 88.
Yeah.
And released then 89 and 90. But yeah, it's just coming to that turn of the century fashion.
Where men wore crop tops
yes.
without being questioned if they were gay or not, right?
Oh, it's very true. There was no talk of it.
No.
So obviously. Written and produced by Fred Weintraub and directed by Robert Klaus. So these are the guys behind, of course, Enter the Dragon.
Oh, yes, of course. Great movie.
Great movie, yes. But as I have always said, and I stand by, I don't believe Klaus is an incredible director. I think he's very middle of the road, as this movie will prove.
Okay.
I do love, however, this opening sequence here, this action sequence, which kind of shows you who Cynthia really is. It's very, compared to your Hong Kong work, it's very staged.
Okay.
But that's Hollywood for you. Even though Raymond Chow was the executive producer on it, and it had the Golden Harvest seal of approval, it kind of still lacked that Hong Kong kind of energy that she had done previously.
Yeah.
But yes, still a fantastic film.
It's so weird watching. I mean, you can barely see anything on VHS. Yeah. It's crazy how conditioned we've become to like 4K and Blu-ray transfers. This is so dark.
And such a soft picture compared to the sharpness of what the Blu-ray. Now, if this ever got a good clean up, this in part 2 would be a nice double bill release on DVD or Blu-ray cleaned up. I think we'll get there someday.
So they haven't restored this?
Not that I have found.
Okay.
If anyone knows of China O'Brien cleaned up out there, please let me know.
So what's the story of China O'Brien?
The story is China obviously is a cop.
Okay.
And she goes back to visit her dad, who's also a cop, and he gets killed. And basically, it's kind of like Walking Tall. You know the films Walking Tall has been remade like a couple of times. The Rock remade it.
Oh,
Kevin
yes.
Sorbo had done one, I think.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
So it's that kind of Roadhouse as well, would have a kind of a flair of Roadhouse about it.
Yeah.
So basically, a typical revenge flick, and this girl taking on the big bad guys and the bad cowboys of the town.
Okay.
Which, again, now this guy, I can't remember his character name, but if he is Jonesy, then he is also the choreographer of the action. And from the way he's moving there, it's quite possible that he is. So this would probably be the first time Cynthia wasn't choreographed by, obviously doubled there for her
yes, I
her
could see that.
stuff.
I was just about to say, did she...
Now there's her famous scorpion kick. So in every movie, Cynthia gets to do her scorpion kick. That's her kind of like...
signature
move. Okay. Her tag is her scorpion kick. And she's fantastic at it, obviously.
Why did she need a double for the jumps?
Because she's not... in terms of her acrobats, she's not that athletic with the acrobats.
Right.
The acrobatics, sorry. So she would be double for those kind of things. But when you see her fighting, it's her.
Well, yeah, because that's what I was going to say. That this is what I love about these kinds of films, especially like Asian action cinema. Mm-hmm. Although this is obviously a Western, American-made film.
Yeah.
What I like about it is that it uses the kind of Asian technique of actually showing the actors fight.
Yes.
So the camera is on them.
Yeah.
It's steady. And when it follows them, it's actually following them without all these kind of like Hollywood cuts where that the actors aren't really doing a lot of the fighting. Whereas you can visibly see that Cynthia is actually fighting.
And that's what made her amazing as a Western martial art actress. Because every star you see today, in the likes of the Marvel movies or on the Arrowverse shows, things like that. I don't know who the hell. You can film my tank,
He can film my tank if he wants to.
But you do see a lot of fast cuts, and the likes of the Black Widow in those movies. She knows she's doubled. You can see a change in her energy when she's doubled.
Yes.
Quite noticeably there in that alley fight when Cynthia was doubled for the acrobatics. You can see a change in the energy and the movements.
Mm-hmm. And the hair.
I've been watching her for over 30 years, so I can see those kind of things.
Yeah.
But to Joe Public, who maybe doesn't watch a lot of her moves...
Okay, you would need to be blind not to notice that wasn't
quite obviously. I mean, the wig was pretty cool, but it didn't work.
No.
So she's obviously in the alleyway there. She saw someone in the shadows about to shoot her partner, and she shot the guy in the shadows, which turned out to be a kid. And obviously a teenage kid, because you were talking.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
And that's why she's kind of leaving town now. She's going to go back home.
Okay.
To Middle America here and
to Utah State.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you don't expect things of what's going to happen here in China O'Brien. You don't expect to go on those kind of places, but it is. I
mean, was this kind of like precursor to like Seagal's action films, Van Damme's action films? Was this kind of like one of like the very first kind of like Western martial arts film stars before they all kind of took off?
They were all around that same time. You'd obviously Van Damme had done No Retreat, No Surrender with the Hong Kong crew.
Oh my god, I love that.
But he also went to Black Eagle. Do you remember Black Eagle?
No, I've never seen that.
Okay, we'll put that on the list because that's one that really should be covered.
Okay.
So it was all around that time.
Oh, porn stash.
When the American martial arts star was really starting to ramp it up. But she had such a great start in Hong Kong. This was to kind of like bring her to the West. So those Hong Kong movies then, if this was as great a success as Robert Klaus and Raymond Chow had hoped, then all of those Hong Kong movies that has Cynthia's name on it would be a massive hit in the West. Unfortunately,
that didn't transpire.
It didn't. I mean, China O'Brien is not a terrible movie, but it's just not overly exciting enough for it to be a massive hit. It's a cult hit.
Yeah.
by all means,
Beaver Creek Inn. Oh my god!
American
I will not be staying in anybody's Beaver.
Like, you should recognise him because he's not the policeman. That's her dad, obviously, but the big guy there. You've seen him probably in a few. If you watch like 80s, 90s American movies, you'll notice him. You'd recognise him. He's always that kind of background thug. So he is. And there is quite a number of recognisable. See, if a bit of the roof fell down on him there, that would have been hilarious, wouldn't it? Yeah, there's a few recognisable faces. But ultimately,
who's the dad? Because I recognise him.
I do recognise the dad. If I can just figure that one out.
So in terms of Cynthia's acting, like, obviously I've never seen this film before. I have no idea. I've never seen a Cynthia Rothrock film apart from she did Lady Dragon, didn't she?
She did Lady Dragon, which came after this. So Lady Dragon started to come on the when she left Hong Kong and started having a bit of a decline there before she went back to America. There's Norton.
There he is, the gorgeous Richard Norton.
Absolutely incredible, and such a life. So, you know, background as a bodyguard to ABBA and to other big massive.
What?
Oh yeah. You need to look into that.
Okay.
But these guys together on screen, this is what made this special, was Norton and Rothrock together. And after that, any time you saw a cover, video cover...
Sorry.
Go.
Didn't mean to interrupt you.
No.
I heard
yes.
that scene there where they first meet,
yes.
they both hated that scene so much that they wanted it cut from the film because they hated their performances. And whenever they went to the premiere... the reel like skipped
caught or something
and skipped that scene, and they were fucking delighted.
So it may actually have been a wee bit shorter than they'd shot, but a great introduction. And here's Keith Cooke again. This is one of his first roles, and another incredible martial arts actor, martial artist. His acting isn't terrible, but he just again wasn't leading man material. And he did go on to do a few more things, but quickly disappeared, very much in the B movie run of things, you know. And I guess that's where they all went. You know, Norton's had an incredible career. Both of them went back to Hong Kong together and did a few movies together as well. But really, whenever they kind of hung around in America and did quite a few the Rage and Honor movies. Did an early one, Fight to Win, which is hilarious. We'll pop that on the list sometime. But
great.
But whenever you seen these two guys together on a video cover, you just knew you were going to have a lot of fun.
Okay. What is her acting like? She doesn't actually seem, from Lady Dragon, from what I remember, she was actually, I mean, for the type of film that it is.
Yeah. This is her.
Good.
I think this is the character that suits her most. Is this kind of softer,
Midwestern girl?
Yeah. And I think that's just who she is. That's that character is her.
Do you know who trained her in martial arts?
She is. She her background is in martial arts from a child. She trained up through the ranks. She was a tournament champion. She did very, very well.
God, he's so
and
hot.
That's where she then moved into the movie business in Hong Kong with Yes Madam, with Michelle Yeoh and Corey Yuen.
Oh, I need to see that one actually.
Fantastic, absolutely incredible. But that's the thing, you know, going from the force and the fury of these Hong Kong movies to kind of like this Clint Eastwood-esque kind of movie.
But it's almost like the safety of Western films.
Of course
Whenever you watch it, obviously you know much more about Asian cinema than I do, but I have seen an awful lot of Hong Kong action films. Yeah. But they're so ferocious, fast. Yeah. Like, whenever you see the outtakes from them, they're really injuring themselves, and a lot of it is very, although it's choreographed, a lot of it seems quite improvised and daring. Yeah. Whereas these films, just watching her there fighting in the bar, it does look very choreographed and a little awkward.
Yeah, there's a bit, because she's not fighting fighters, that's the thing. She's fighting extras and stuntmen as such, possibly.
But she's still kind of got that kind of Hong Kong ferocity in her, like, stomps, like when she's like, ah!
Because she wants to, that's the thing. And she's said before in in many interviews, if I could go back to Hong Kong to shoot, I would. As much as it was a lot harder work than these American productions, she really did better in Hong Kong. She was... I just thought they brought more out of her, you know, especially if Sammo Hung was behind directing her, or Corey Yuen. They just brought the best out of her. And again, when you come to the American stuff, it is quite... It's the American chop sucky. You know, it's...
Yeah.
It is, you said, it's a safe thing. And they just hadn't really captured... Now, when The Matrix came out and that whole Charlie's Angels thing, and everyone was suddenly Hong Kong fighting.
Yes, there's like wire food.
Yeah. But also the style in which they, you know, the style in which they shot it. By that stage, Hollywood had realised, hang on, our action is nothing compared to the Hong Kong movies. Let's study this. Let's edit and cut and crank it where we need to make it look like that. And that's
but even whenever they brought over
that vest.
I know that vest is her. I wouldn't be caught dead in that. But it's like, find out who the dad is, because that's
David
really
Blackwell is the dad.
Oh yes, what was he in?
Other movies.
I'm going, oh yes, and I have no fucking idea. The name's not familiar at all. Who the fuck is he?
Yeah.
I was going to make a point there.
He does look familiar, to be honest.
He's probably in like Dallas or Dynasty or some shit like that.
Him there, though, I recognise his face from that kind of period of movies, you know, the one that's not so pretty.
Yes, the cop there.
Yeah. The black hair.
Oh my god, she looks like her fake mum,
doesn't
actually,
she?
with that haircut.
But have you ever
seen... cast very well, actually.
They really have. But it's not a terribly made movie. It's just a basic made movie. And this is where I go back to saying that Klaus is not a great director. He's an okay director. Yeah. He played it safe. He's an old-fashioned director. There's nothing there that's... I mean, you think how many years before this Evil Dead came out and how Sam played with the camera and did so many incredible shots and things like this. Whereas this is still...
Which we are covering this season, aren't we?
I believe so.
Yay!
I believe so.
Yeah, Evil Dead.
So, discount Bruce Campbell there?
It does actually look a bit like Bruce Campbell. But you're right, it is very static.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It's safe.
It is.
And again, it goes back to... That was a period when Jackie Chan was trying to break into America, or Golden Harvest was trying to get him into America, but nobody was ready for that faster Hong Kong style of filmmaking and action.
And even when they did bring him to the West, to America, the movies weren't on par with... I mean, I've seen mostly Jackie Chan. That is like my extent of Asian cinema. Apart from like, like... what do you call them? Wuxia films and things like that there, which I love. Jackie Chan was like my only kind of, because my dad loved him.
Yeah.
So whenever I remember watching Rush Hour and being like, they're trying to mimic the
Hong Kong set. Now, even though he helped with the choreography of that, it's still, they had to slow it down. They couldn't really go for that full on incredible shock and fight action that we got through his earlier stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the Protector's a fantastic... Obviously, the 88 Films release of The Protector, which I got to do audio commentary on with Mike Leader.
Are you plugging?
I'm not plugging. But my point is, we covered the Hong Kong version.
Yes.
And also, it was released with the original American version. But because Jackie did not like the American version, he went back and reshot a lot of that for his Hong Kong version, which to me is the better version of Jackie. It might not to a lot of people be the better film, but to me it's the better version of Jackie, and a lot more fun and faster paced, and that's what we're used to with Jackie.
But why was it harder for women to kind of break that?
It's still harder for women, isn't it? Obviously, it's still harder for women.
Obviously, we're having this. Yeah, we won't get into that discussion.
If we knew the answer to that.
Well, the world would be a better place.
But again, with Cynthia, it was... I think there was a case of, as great as her action was, as much as she threw herself into the action, I think a lot of people would have said it was the acting that really held her back.
Yeah, because she had such limited range.
Yes, she did have limited range. I enjoy her in the Hong Kong stuff, but they do obviously dub her.
God.
Do you know what I mean? Obviously in Cantonese they dub her, so she can get away with doing and saying whatever, and it's going to come across hilarious or correct in any way once she is dubbed.
Yeah.
But when it came to her American stuff, there wasn't...
I'm surprised they didn't, like, teach her Cantonese.
It's quite possible she tried a few lines there, but whether it came across right or not.
Yeah,
but it was always dubbed regardless. I think when she got back to the West and was shooting English-speaking movies...
She's probably like, thank
well, yeah.
I actually know what I'm saying.
That too. But also, I don't think... She never had a role, I think, bar this, that was as natural as Cynthia is. I think China O'Brien would be her most natural role. I think anything after that, like Undefeatable, for example, she's too angry in it, but she's almost like teenagery angry, and it doesn't work.
Oh.
It's a very fun film, but it just doesn't work. And I think when she started getting these movies were rolling out every year, there was a new Cynthia Rothrock movie, but it was straight to video, and people would have loved the fighting but laughed at the acting, not just from her but from a lot of the people surrounding her.
Yeah,
I think again with Norton, she's at her strongest.
Yeah,
I think they work so well off each other. They together,
clear natural chemistry.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, and that's where I think in the West films, her Western films, the ones with her and Norton are her better ones. Yeah. So they are. But,
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that, I mean, even just watching this, you can tell they have very natural chemistry together. Yeah. It doesn't seem like it's much effort for them to...
They're still incredible friends to this day, and I don't know why we haven't had a recent... Yes, I guarantee they have aged, of course.
Wow.
But I to see a modern day movie with the both of them would be a friggin' dream. Yeah. I would love to see that.
I don't understand why they can't. I mean, if they can put Van Damme in a modern movie,
yeah, of course.
Then why can't they put Cynthia Rothrock?
Of course, with Richard.
Because Hollywood are sexist.
Oh well, yeah.
And once a woman turns 40,
yeah,
she is no
dress
longer...
her up as an old queen and put her in some historic...
Yeah, or she can be someone's mother.
I mean... I would say, honestly, the last 10 to 15 years of Cynthia's filmography has been very, very, very subpar. It's unfortunate. Yes, she's an actress and she's still got to work, but there isn't the same excitement for a Cynthia Rothrock movie coming out today as I had when this came out and whenever a Hong Kong movie came out. I don't have that anymore.
And that it's something that I'm actually very passionate about because I know, like, well, obviously we're talking about this film in particular, but it's something that I'm very passionate about because whenever we talk about scripts and screenplays of our own, whenever I was like sending you ideas for female action films, they were all like every single one that I sent you was female because I'm so passionate about women who can fight.
Yes, and that's
whether they be American or Asian or Canadian or Russian. There is such a market for that. Yeah. And it's such a shame that Cynthia Rothrock with her exceptional fighting skills didn't take off like other action stars did.
Yeah, look at him hiding. It's not really in plain
no, I mean, it's not conspicuous at all.
As long as you're in the shadow of a tree, you're okay. You'll never be recognised.
That's what the paedophiles say.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, you're right. I mean, obviously Hong Kong is renowned for its female action heroes. There is countless amounts, but that also went right back to the 70s and 60s in Hong Kong cinema.
Yeah, of course.
Whereas America really didn't have an action sort of
like with female prisoner Scorpion.
Yeah, and way on. It was like even the swordplay movies from the 60s with the Shaw brothers and things like that. There was a lot of
even in Kurosawa's movies, there was a lot of very strong. Strong.
And it seemed
females.
to be a much more of an Asian thing to give them that role. Obviously, Cynthia would have been one of the first Western women to really make it big in Hong Kong. Yeah. And
what the fuck is that?
So this is his. You'll find out about his hand later.
Okay.
But yes, he's obviously adapted his stump to lock in. He's got.
I'm missing parts of this. I probably should have watched it beforehand, but it's nice to see it for the first time.
I mean, there's not a lot.
I can tell there's not a lot of story here.
Not a lot, I mean, you're not. Yeah, I was going to say you're not really missing a major amount. She's obviously gone out with her dad here on a bit of a recce on something that's been reported.
Please tell me that there was a fight sequence in this.
In this mill?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Ugh.
I believe so.
I love when they take advantage of big sets
this is
like this.
Yeah. This is cracker. Drive with Mark Dacascos. They have a set similar, like in the cement factory, I believe. Yep. And they really utilize that. It's fantastic. I don't think they go to those lengths here.
Shame.
But this same year so this was shot back to back with Cynthia Rothrock. With China O'Brien too, obviously with Cynthia Rothrock. But I do know for a fact that same year then she went back to Hong Kong. Obviously this was a Hong Kong production. And she then shot Inspector Wears Skirts, which is released in the West as Top Squad, which is produced by Jackie Chan. I bought that when I was about 15 or 16 in a video store. Fell in love with it because the dub was hilarious, but also the actual movie was hilarious. And then obviously once the DVD world hit us, I was able to get that original cut Inspector Wears Skirts. And she gets more than an extended kind of bit part in it as a Western cop that comes to train the female police squad in Hong Kong. And a fantastic show again. Is she now like the Sybil Danning of the Kung Fu world? No, definitely not. Not even that. Cynthia, I think there's more. Cynthia spends more of her time, as far as I've seen now. I do follow her on Instagram and all that kind of thing. Yeah. But more so at tournaments, judging martial arts tournaments, turning up at conventions, that kind of thing. Again, there is the odd movie comes out, but it's nothing like this. Yeah. Which is unfortunate.
So I love this. I just love the way that I know God.
An Indian kind of wannabe.
With a big machine gun.
Yeah. But she's so petite. And this is what
so teeny.
Really made things exciting. Because this tiny little woman was kicking the ass of these big men. Now here you get to see Keith in action. Mm-hmm. And he's very, very... Like his hits are very forceful. Very to the point. Mm-hmm. Again, somebody that really, I think if they were in the hands of a Hong Kong director, really would have exploded on screen. Yeah. Like this is one of his trademark kicks. Here we go. This is the double kick? This is the double kick. Wow. But he's a good looking guy. He really moves well. And it's just...
3. Boom, boom, boom.
It's just unfortunate that he didn't go anywhere. Yeah. Another great one.
Jesus Christ.
Cheese and rice.
Cheese and rice.
That was unfortunate.
Sorry, guys. There was a big, massive chainsaw just being wagged in Cynthia's
But you see the kicks and the I mean, it's just so slow in comparison to a Hong Kong movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And yes, it's still fun to watch, but it's just you just know there's so much more in them.
Yeah, it doesn't have that exhilaration factor that a Hong Kong movie would have.
No, definitely.
Like whenever I watch like Hong Kong films, especially Jackie Chan's, it's so like and they're so fast and ferocious and like
it's
they're
like
exhilarating.
A dance. It's like a dance. Yeah.
And they're funny. Yeah. But they're just they move so quickly. Mm-hmm. Whereas this seems to have a lot of like long drawn out scenes where it's like, okay, and we get that you're trying to tell a story, but maybe it might have just been better if you had just let her loose. Like a female Rambo. Yeah. In this small Utah town.
When we get to this point now, when we get obviously to the where the dad gets killed, because that is the
We're
story.
Still waiting for
We're
this
still
to
waiting.
happen.
We're not ruining it. I mean, people listening to this should have watched China O'Brien already before listening to this, because you need to kind of have that story in your, not the story, but the lines and things in your head when you're listening to a commentary. But obviously then after that, her anger does come out and she does get a wee bit more brutal towards the bad guys there. Mm-hmm. But it's not Rambo. It's just not enough for her to really go over the top. There's another recognizable face. Couldn't tell you who it is, but someone I know I've seen in many American movies around that same period. They're all very heavy men, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah.
0.1 for heavy men.
0.1.
Whenever Hollywood were not interested in how you looked, but how well you acted.
Yep, exactly.
That is how it should be.
Very, very true, actually. Very true. There's no pretty people, well, bar Keith, but he was...
Keith's. And Richard Norton's extremely
Richard Norton is a handsome man. He is.
Very attractive. So Cynthia Rothrock.
She's a handsome man.
She does nothing
too,
for my cock. But she is a very handsome man. You know what I mean? She's an attractive woman.
And she is. And, so I once met Corey Haim,
Oh yes, Corey Haim
from the Lost Boys and all that. And now he made the mistake of introducing himself by whispering in my ear, "Do you have any drugs, man?" At which point I said to fuck away off, because I wasn't, obviously not my kind of thing. I don't like that. So, but then he came back to the table. He was apologetic. He sat down to chat for a while, and of course, being a fan of the martial arts movies, I knew he had starred with Cynthia in Fast Getaway 1 and 2.
Okay.
Which are fun movies, but in the same vein as this.
Okay.
There is a bit of that middle America kind of thing going on, and it's quite safe played. Probably a wee bit more exciting. Okay. It's not all about Cynthia. It's obviously,
it's not all about you, Cynthia.
Yeah, not all about you. But he, he said it was a fun. Again, he just said it was a fun movie to work on, and she was a firecracker, like the way she got on, in terms of the action and on set. Mm-hmm. But it's just, I kind of wanted things to be bigger and better for her. I wanted to see her, come out on top and actually get. Again, there was I think a role that she had lined up with Stallone at some point.
Wow.
Which, if that had have happened, again, there was another missed step to really push her up into A-list or at least a bigger star role.
Yeah.
But it didn't. It just didn't.
I can see it. I can see like the poster for whatever film.
Yeah.
So that's just on Cynthia Rothrock.
Oh,
Cliffhanger 2.
Stop or my daughter will shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop or my daughter. Yes. But yeah, no, I could see it happening.
Yeah. But it's such a beige movie as well, isn't it?
I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
That the colours, like there's nothing that pops in this film at all.
If you put this right next to the Avengers, I don't mean in terms of budget or excitement. I mean in terms of colour.
Yeah. Yes.
or Avatar or anything like that. It's just so beige.
It is, but again, one wonders, was it a stylistic choice to focus on the martial arts?
Well, I do no.
Or was it just bad?
I don't think so because there's not enough of the martial arts. If there was more martial arts, I would agree with you that yes, that was the focus. But there's still too much of this. There's still too much drama. Now, yes, it was allowing her to act a lot more than usual. A lot of her Hong Kong roles up to this point were not so much bit parts, but they were smaller parts, and also they were dubbed, as we know and as we said. But this was her big acting gig, really. So I suppose allowing her a bit more drama.
Okay.
Is I suppose
our
passes.
father still hasn't died yet, right?
He hasn't died because he's sitting there smoking a pipe and now he's on the phone.
Dear God.
But we're getting there. Now, obviously, in part 2, there's a bit of a different story going on there.
Yeah.
But I'm coming with
she has a very
she's very soft spoken girl.
She's very soft spoken. She has that though kind of. She has the look of a lot of
here we go
80s actresses. Yes. Like, do you know who she reminds me of? Linnea Quigley.
Oh yeah. Oh, there we go.
Whoa! Did the car just blow up?
Daddy is dead.
Fuck!
Human combustion.
I love explosions.
Well, he's definitely exploded. Now here we go. Here's the.
Oh, here is the slow mo. Wow, that is some acting, Cynthia. Jesus.
Yeah, well, he didn't help. But
no, he didn't help in this situation.
There we go. Now.
Wow. Who directed that scene? Don't get too close, Cynthia.
I think they brought Samo in for that. Jump down the steps. No, I'm only joking. That's a hell of a dress. But yeah, I mean, this is it. This is where it gives her a bit more range to go with.
Yeah, see that this. Yeah, it's showing that she's kind of.
Yeah, and I think it was
semi-capable.
Like, let her go. Just let her do it and see what happens. But again, a lot of critics, I suppose, picked that up and
they did.
Pointed it out. But they don't, I don't think it's fair to compare Cynthia Rothrock with
Meryl Streep.
Well, yes. I mean, you just can't do that. She is a martial artist who then became an actress as an action starlet. She's not an actress who became a martial arts star. And I think it is unfair to judge her like that.
I think you're right. It is unfair to judge a lot of people like this in terms of their acting ability. They're cast they're cast in movies, or movies are written for them, or they produce movies that are for their ability, which is their ability to fight or to choreograph or whatever. Yeah. It's not necessarily their ability to act.
No.
You know, and this, I mean, I'm watching this here. I can't hear what she's saying, but you can see that she's really putting effort into really trying to emote a character, you know.
And
you know, for me as a writer, it's one of the things that I pick up on is how another car just exploded.
That's the deputy. So she was obviously trying to phone him to stop him going out to get into his car.
Wow. This movie just got really exciting for me.
There you go.
When things start to blow up, shit gets real.
And the beige is gone.
And the beige. Now we've got green.
Look at that. The picture quality of this VHS tape, though, like
it's actually not bad. It's really not. I expected it to be much worse.
Let me see. When did I buy this? Let me see. 1993. I bought this videotape.
Wow.
93. Do you know I miss videos so much? I miss video shops.
The feel. Yes, me too.
I loved going into video shops and seeing these kind of movies on the shelf.
This is the kind of film that reminds me of video stores.
Yeah.
This is the kind of film that whenever I went in, we didn't go, in my house, we didn't go for like the typical Hollywood things.
Yeah.
My dad picked up small action films. You know, he was big into Chuck Norris.
Yes.
You know, I know Chuck Norris is a little bit more kind of bigger than Cynthia Rothrock was, whatever. But he was like big into Chuck Norris. He was into Seagal. He was into Van Damme. He was into Dacascos. He was into all those, you know, martial artists. Yeah.
Yes.
So these are the kinds of films that whenever we went to the video store was what we would have picked up.
Yeah.
And this reminds me of that time in my life and how much I actually miss that kind of culture. I miss them
so much, and I miss just even the dustiness of a video shop, lifting the smell, but also seeing a pile of videos on the floor and getting on your knees and going through them. Because
I mean, I remember being in the video store like cross-legged, you know, on the bottom, going through and lifting them, holding them, turning them over, reading the back and everything like that. You don't have to do that now with streaming.
No.
But I think this is why people probably find both of us so weird, because we both have such massive Blu-ray and DVD collections.
Totally. And videos.
I mean, you've got tons of videos. I have no VHSs anymore.
Yeah.
But is that...
But I miss...
Is the feel?
Yeah.
There's something about that tangibility.
And it's not even like it's the rental video boxes that were huge, and that's what I love. Yeah, because the artwork was always amazing, especially in the 80s, going into the early 90s.
Especially 80s horror. Oh, but that's a totally different story to this.
Yeah, Kung Fu and horror, they kind of fell into the same line of video artwork. They were always incredible looking, and that's what attracted you to the box. That's what got me into Hong Kong movies is. Jackie Chan's early stuff and old Kung Fu movies had illustrated covers. So when I was 5-6 years of age and I saw these, I thought they were big cartoons, Kung Fu cartoons. So I was, you know, asking, obviously that was at a time when you didn't really have to show your ID to hire a movie.
Yes.
So I was able to get those movies out, and then...
You weren't being visibly over 25 in Sainsbury's whenever you're buying a fucking movie.
Yes.
It's rated 12. What the hell?
Exactly. So I was able to see these early Kung Fu movies thinking I was bringing home a cartoon.
Yeah.
And that's when I fell in love with them. And it was always the artwork that drew me to them. And that's why I can't get rid of my VHS tapes, because I love them so much. I could probably tell you out of 99% of them where I've bought each one and when, and because they all have a bit of memory for me. There's always something there.
That kind of style is coming back in.
I've seen.
You've heard me talking about Graham Humphreys, who's doing like a lot of the Arrow releases for like and then, Vincent Price movies and American Werewolf in Paris, and he's going to do my book covers for me as well.
Right. And then obviously Kung Fu Bob,
Kung Fu Bob, who's doing all the
Kung
Idiots.
Fu Bob, who's done the Idiot collection, as well as many. The more I look into
Kung Fu Bob, if you listen to this, could you please get them to release this in HD and do an awesome cover?
Yeah, we need a China O'Brien cover, Kung Fu Bob. We needed it. But that's the thing. These are I've chatted with Bob. These are movies he loves. These are movies he's grew up watching, and his collection is as huge as ours, as I found out today. And that's why he has a love for drawing these covers. And that's what we need. We need more of these kind of things. And I've also seen fantastic graphic designers redesigning modern horror movies in an 80s fashion and putting them on the likes of Instagram and whatnot, and they do look amazing. So people do want to see more of that, not this kind of polished looking Hollywood cover that keeps coming out. You know, thankfully Hong Kong has
that's so photoshopped.
Yeah,
it's
totally,
unreal.
Totally.
Yeah, there's something about. Yeah. So again, not knowing very much about this film.
Okay, so here we go.
I do know that she's now running for sheriff, obviously, because it's just not there. But what I found out, which I thought was kind of funny, is that whenever she did this, there's a scene in the film which I assume is coming out pretty soon, where she's travelling in a parade, where she's apparently that was not like that. Nobody in that town knew.
No, that was a real parade.
The media actually said that China O'Brien was running for sheriff at this time. That is incredible. That makes me laugh.
It's amazing.
I was like, oh my god, that blows my mind. It just shows how different films were made.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Totally. But what an impact to have.
I know, right? I know.
China for sheriff.
It's just like, oh my god.
So obviously the judge was in favour of the bad guys back at the courthouse there, and he's a bit pissed off that China's now running in her dad's shoes here. So here's the parade. Here's the real parade.
So this is the one that they had no idea.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So it's your typical
China. See, yeah, and this is what I was like. They did this. So they did this for real. China O'Brien for sheriff. None of these townspeople at this actual parade knew that this was a movie.
None of these extras were
and they
paid.
Genuinely thought that this woman, China O'Brien, is running for sheriff. How many people were going to run to the polling stations? Were they like, hilarious? Oh my god,
where's her name
for sheriff? Yeah.
Why is her name not on the cards?
Yeah.
Look at that.
I know. Look at that hairstyle. That fucking hair. Oh my god.
It's just a period.
There's Keith on his motorcycle.
Yeah. Like even the rider there of the cart that she was in, did you see he was looking at the camera a wee bit?
Oh yes,
because
I did.
He hadn't a clue why the camera was on.
Oh my god, I love that.
But yeah, I mean, it's something like I would do.
Yes,
when I'm shooting.
Absolutely.
So I can't deny that they just kind of had a bit of fun there.
Yeah. Well, there's a little bit in the next, obviously in the next movie commentary that I'm going to pick up on about things that you do, but I just love this. I just think this is so cool that all these people are just townsfolk.
Yeah. And they're backing it. You know, that's I suppose that's the joy of shooting in a small town. You will get a bit of excitement from the people.
Yeah, shooting in a small town in the 80s with no internet.
Yeah. Exactly.
Very little media coverage unless you're shooting in the town.
Of course.
It just makes it all much more authentic.
I always said to a lot of people in different interviews and stuff, I wish I had been where I am now in terms of how I make movies, but in the 80s. I believe, you know, a lot of my movies I kind of want to be almost 80s style or themed or kind of what I remember from the 80s and
it's
horror movies.
It's the decade that I love the best.
Oh yeah, totally, especially with film.
Yeah.
From all over the world.
Yeah.
I think. And that's but that was before health and safety kicked in.
Well, this is it.
Insurance? What's insurance?
But what's a permit?
What is a permit?
What's a permit?
Is that somebody that lives in a cave?
That's a hermit. But nice way of getting out of that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
My insurance forms, usually in the last 7 movies that I've made, are literally just a piece of paper that states, if anyone dies on your property, it is not your fault. Signed, George Clark.
Oh my, okay.
And it's letter-headed, you know. So, I mean, they've accepted it. But nobody
So I heard
has died.
that she only broke a finger?
Only broke a finger, and I believe, if it's the same finger she's talking about in previous interviews, that she caught it in the hole, like a buttonhole of a jacket.
Oh, right, okay.
During a fight. So when they pulled away, it's kind of pulled her finger. I think that may be that dog's head looked like it was floating there.
I know it looked like it was, carved.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that might be
progressive Utah time. There's actually
Isn't it?
Yeah, coloured people there.
Yeah.
I did not expect that.
Close.
Middle
Here
America.
we go. This is like Belfast.
This feels like the fucking 12.
Yeah.
Ruining all the fun.
Norton's a wee bit pissed off because you're putting out our bonfire. So obviously these guys are sent out to disrupt the fun.
Yeah. It's something that we know a lot about in Northern Ireland.
Yes, of course.
Not that I'm ever involved in lighting
well,
fires.
No. We have a lot of social media. Yeah.
We like to watch it.
It hasn't flinched. I love the way he just casually fucks
like,
off, beats up the fireman.
I just kicked the shit out of those guys. Well done, China. Well done.
There's just no concern. How dare you interrupt my woman?
And I take it this guy here in the car here in the back seat is the guy who wanted to run for sheriff.
Guy. This is the big bad guy who basically is wanting to stop any kind of the guy. You know the other sheriff, deputy sheriff there with the black hair that's not so pretty looking. He's obviously been in on it with them.
Okay.
So he's trying to get the good sheriffs out of the way so that they can get in and do their thing.
Yeah.
Here we go. Bit of action.
Yes, finally. Come on.
So Norton's very, very karate based.
Do you need a permit to blow up a car?
Well, I mean, I did it in Battle of the Bone, but very small scale. But no, I didn't have a permit.
Okay,
I would say yes, definitely. If you want to create something like these guys have done, yes, definitely.
Okay.
Look at those. I mean, he's just phenomenal.
Was that Keith or Richard?
That was Richard.
Okay.
Sorry. And again,
I looked away, so I didn't see.
Richard's done a ton of Hong Kong movies and always looks his best in the Hong Kong movies, but he still kept it going.
Now, see that fly kick that she just did there?
Yes.
Was that her?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest. It didn't. It looked too wiggy for me.
Okay. And
I think if it was her and she had landed, she would have turned and looked at the camera. Because she would have learnt that from Hong Kong. When you land in Hong Kong and you've done your own stunt or move, you look at the camera and you prove that it's you.
Yeah. I'm noticing that a lot more actually in Western films, especially with John Wick.
Oh yes.
Whenever, because they focus so much on the action.
Yeah.
And you can tell that Keanu, it has trained very, very hard to do a lot of those fights.
Oh yes.
But it's a shame. I mean, she's clearly a very expert fighter. Yeah. I don't understand why they couldn't have trained her in acrobatics.
It's
or to do a fly kick.
Yeah, a fly. I mean, that's the thing. I think if they had to give her a move, if that was her or it wasn't, I just think if it was, she should have looked behind her. Yeah. But I think if they had to give her a move there that actually would have suited. Mm-hmm. But again, this is the director Klaus, who I think having worked with Bruce Lee on Enter the Dragon.
See, we're seeing that's clearly Keith that's doing all of that there.
And I think with Klaus working on Enter the Dragon has probably convinced himself that he's one of the greatest martial arts film directors of all time, simply because the film is such a hit.
Yeah. Such a cult hit.
Well, a cult hit, yes, but it's not the best movie. It's certainly not the best kung fu movie or martial arts movie ever made.
Certainly not Bruce Lee's best, anyway.
No.
But
I think
I'm actually loving this. That's what I love about all the Yeah,
here we go.
So this is where
it's like why have they held back on showing more of her? You know.
Yeah. It seems such a shame, for her first big American. Oh, fucking hell!
It's okay. You're not going to hit her. Don't worry.
I know. And it looked very like time. 1, 2, 3, swipe. 1, 2, 3, swipe. But what I don't understand is why, with so much ability, why they held back.
Yes.
Why did I don't really feel that they need China for sure. Yeah. Why they feel that they needed to hold back on the action and focus more on her acting. Yeah. Because I mean her acting's not atrociously bad.
No. Again, this is probably one of her better.
Yeah. But it's like I wish that they had have just given her a straight up action flick, car chases, fights, gun battles, and just done away with. I mean, I'm a sucker for storytelling. I'm a sucker for female fighters. Yeah. But I'm when it comes to storytelling, I will rip a film apart if the writing's not good enough or there's plot holes. Yeah. Films like this. Yeah. Part of me is just like fuck all of that shit.
Yeah, because just go. They didn't have that focus on it. Yeah. And that's what makes people I guess people fall in love with B movies is we know it's not that it's a bad movie to love or it's so bad it's good. It's just a movie you don't have to think about or a movie you don't actually have to worry about. Or did you get it? Or did you not get it?
Yeah. Look at that dress.
It's fucking dreadful. I think maybe she forgot to put something over the top of it.
I think that she just
She's far too old to be wearing that.
She looks like a 10p hooker, doesn't she? I love Cynthia's look there, actually. The denim jacket and the hair tie back. It's great.
And a lot of the video artwork back then on its release and posters had that kind of look.
Yeah. But wasn't there a poster of it where they actually like skimped her down to make her look sexier?
That's this one. Is it? And it's not even her.
Yeah. Is that not even her?
It's not even her, not at all.
Oh my god.
These are just photoshopped images of some other woman covering her face and some guy's big arm.
And this is obviously how they sold it. I love it. See, every time I see the entertainment and video new line, you knew you were getting a good movie from them.
This is the obviously the Entertainment Forefront video release of 93, but a few years before that, when it was initially released in 89, it had a different cover altogether. I missed that release, as in to purchase.
Because I've seen the original poster with her
which
on
is a lot more exciting than that.
But again, Western audiences, they preferred sex appeal.
Well, this is coming,
and they clearly tried to.
This is coming into the mid-90s, which is when, to me, that's when video covers and films took a turn for the worse. I'm not a fan of 90s stuff, especially mid-90s stuff like 93 to 98. I'm not a huge fan of those.
Yeah, because they usually just had. Do you remember like the horror, whenever they did like horror movies in like the mid-90s, and it started with Scream and it was like the heads?
Yes.
And then Halloween H2O did it.
Yeah.
I knew we did Last Summer did it. You know, they all then... And then Face Off had the two heads together. Everyone just used the faces of the stars. There was no...
Every Seagal movie had the face.
Faces. Yeah. There was no innovation there, but that's what sold the film, was the stars.
Exactly. And that's to say, this was that period when that started to change. So the Gone was the fantastic artwork. And then comes in the very... close-up face shots or the sexy kind of poses and things like that. But those kind of arty covers...
my god, no.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, well, that's sexy.
Woo!
But her trousers are atrocious.
I always criticise the outfits they made her wear in her Hong Kong movies because there were some treacherous kind of costume choices.
Oh dear.
But well, it is 1988.
Yeah.
I guess
we
can't. We can't. My husband was 1.
I wasn't born. I was born the following year.
So I was 11 at this time.
Shit.
But then again, I'd already gotten into Hong Kong movies or into martial arts movies. From 5, and then around this period when I was 11 or 12, my nanny got me my first video as my own videotape. Which was Ninja USA with Alexander Lau, which was just incredible and blew me away. And then I decided I'm going to start collecting martial arts movies. Oh,
and boy, have you.
Fuck, I'm just looking around me going, I know. Shit, I'm running out of room. But yes, that's how I got hooked. Yeah. That's when I got hooked. And then when this came out and others, I remember going into Extravision, had just started up then, going in there and seeing this on the shelf and I could not wait. I wasn't a member of the shop, so I couldn't take it home. Yeah. But just to look, feel, and touch that.
I hated that kind of commercialized video store.
Yes.
See, when Extravision and Blockbuster started to come out, it was like, nah.
They crushed the independents. Yeah. And that's where the fun was, going into the independent video stores where you found titles that you never see anymore. That was the best. Oh my god, if I had
the titles that now people are finally, the likes of Scorpion releasing, Scream Factory, Shout Factory,
Idiot Films, Arrow
are all now bringing them back.
Yep, totally.
Finally.
And there you go. That's people from, I guess, between you and my own generation that miss it. Yeah. That now are helping to bring those back. And we're buying them because we want to see them. Yeah. Yeah. Because
films today just... Don't get me wrong, I see a lot of great movies nowadays. But they just don't have...
No, something's missing. Yeah. We don't go back to the movies we see today. We go back to these.
No, I know. And it's funny, on Instagram, whenever I'm like writing about a film that is maybe like a little bit older, it never gets the same response.
Oh, yeah?
And it's like, oh god, there's one person that says to me that they wouldn't watch a film before 1990.
Yes, I say that about my husband. He will, anything pre 2000, he'll hum and ha about, and do I have to watch this? Must I watch this? But yes, because that was when they were making better movies.
Yeah.
probably technically not better, but more exciting,
but more enjoyable.
Yeah, and is that a nostalgic thing? I don't know. Is it just something that from your childhood or your teenage years that you connect with those movies? And okay, yes, it is. I know my kids wouldn't find anything that I love back then to be exciting, but they will have their own version of that in 10, 20 years, you know? And it's going to be the stuff that we're watching now. Yeah. Yeah, it's...
So what's the deal with Keith Cooke in this film? So I don't understand. What's going on?
I don't want to make any lies up. I have a funny feeling. If I can remember, it has been nearly 25 years since I've seen this.
Wow.
Is that his mum? I think. And she's a bit of a hookery kind of woman now, but I have a funny feeling that's his mother.
Okay. Now, that's clearly not his father.
His hand got damaged.
Okay.
From trying to maybe fight these guys before.
Okay.
I was going to say earlier, I'm surprised he didn't have a bit of a, you know, the way he was eating at Cynthia's house there, if he had a bit of a cutlery kind of connection for his little metal...
Oh, yeah.
His metal box, you know.
His metal box.
Yeah. So is this the flashback? I think so, yes.
Oh, so this is the arm getting...
Sorry, it has been that long since I've seen it. But yes, this is the flashback where we find out how, and he's still back to eating.
Gotcha. That was his mother, yes. So she just said, did you see your mother again? Yeah.
My memory hasn't gone completely then. That's good. That's good.
God, I remember wearing bandanas.
Did you?
Yes.
I did. I think I tried it once and then I just laughed and took it off. And when I say once, I mean literally put it on and laughed and took it off. I didn't wear it out.
Bandanas all the time.
I used to change my t-shirt into a ninja mask. That's how I would have went around town. Which isn't a good thing in Belfast to wear something like that. But I was a ninja. But for a lot of years I was a ninja, actually.
I get the feeling watching this, there is a lot of wasted opportunity here.
Totally. Without a doubt. I think if they remade this now with let me just quickly grab Accident Man.
If they remade it now with Cynthia Rothrock.
Scott Atkins.
Love Scott.
Okay, so
much love for Scott.
Who do we have? I'm trying to find the girl that was an Accident Man. Is it Ashley? No, it's not Ashley Green. Amy Johnson. There we go. Amy Johnson.
As in Amy Jo Johnson from Power Rangers?
From Accident Man?
Oh, so obviously two different people then. I'm thinking of the Pink Power Ranger because that was her name.
No. This is a new girl, a new blonde girl on the scene. If you've seen Accident Man with Scott Atkins,
Oh, is that the bitch from... She's just died?
She just died. That's the one from who got seen in the car with her.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So this girl, Amy Johnson, I think could well be the next big female action star if guided in the right direction. Okay. And I think if they were to remake China O'Brien, that she would be the perfect choice for it.
Okay. Or give her an original role.
Well, yes, of course. In that sense that if they remade China O'Brien in terms of the blueprint, beefed it up a bit more with the fight action and a bit more grittier. I think it definitely needs a bit more grit.
Yes.
And don't put an aging director behind it who is used to his Clint Eastwood type Bruce Lee. You know, that's the thing. Robert Klaus came from a generation that was about safe Hollywood movies, westerns, that kind of type that you kind of grew up watching a Sunday afternoon kind of thing. Yes. And
resenting your parents for making you watch it.
Right, exactly.
A western,
Or your granny says, "Here, sit down and watch this movie with me."
Watch Walker, Texas Ranger. How about we don't? Nothing against Chuck, but seriously.
Yeah. So that's I don't think he was the right director for this.
No.
But this
it's very clear. He seems. I don't know. I've seen Enter the Dragon. I don't know very many other films he's directed.
He did Force 5, which he had Richard Norton in, which is it's kind of a remake of Enter the Dragon, and it was only a few years after. But it was a Western cast, and it was actually quite a lot of fun. I actually have the videotape of it.
But he seems like he is more comfortable doing this type of scene.
I mean, this looks like an episode of Highway to Heaven or something.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exactly.
There is a blandness to it.
There is. There is a very TV movie quality about it.
Totally. Yeah.
Whereas if it was made today, it would be a little bit more glitz and glam.
There'd be a bit more camera movement.
Yeah.
It's something which I've noticed there is quite a little of.
Yeah, there's very little camera movement.
As I say that, as there's now camera movement, obviously, but throughout the movie, it's quite
it's a lot of very static camera work.
It is. It's on a track here, obviously, because it's smooth, whereas you find now today there's a lot of handheld stuff.
Yeah, a lot of steady
following people or doing great sort of bird's eye shots into different rooms. You know, so it has changed.
Taking risks with the cinematography.
It's changed dramatically.
Because it genuinely looks like an amalgam of Dynasty or Dallas meets Renegade.
Yeah, do you remember Renegade?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
This is exactly what this feels like.
Yeah, you're not far from wrong. Actually, that's yeah. Gosh, I forgot. And I used to watch Renegade every week.
Yeah.
My goodness.
I only watched
but
it
that's
for
okay. So that of course. But that and a lot of stuff like that was shot in this kind of Utah, Middle America setting, where it was probably cheaper to shoot. But it just made it. It was obviously stuck in a bit of a time warp as well.
Yeah.
And it was just. That's where the blandness. That's where the beige comes out.
Yeah.
Had they shot in New York or LA or even Toronto, that would have had such a different.
Oh yeah.
Different.
I mean, whenever I heard about this film and I seen the poster, the original poster for it, and I seen Cynthia Rothrock and it's all black, and I expected actually a city-based action thriller.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I kind of expected to see.
And even going as it started and you open with that alleyway fight, you still kind of feel you're going to get that, but then
then they moved to the Midwest.
Yeah, I mean, is this where Robert Klaus is from? Who knows?
Who knows?
Let's take it back to my hometown.
But
at this time as well, I mean, Golden Harvest were backing a lot of Western movies as well. Like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series 1, 2, and 3, they were Golden Harvest back.
Were they?
Yeah, Blade Runner, I believe, as well.
What?
Yeah. So and there was a ton more. There was like a lot more.
Blade Runner has a lot of like Asian influence.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Very much so.
Yeah. So this was obviously they had her under contract, as I said earlier, and she was still shooting when she went back the same year.
When they could have people under contract.
Oh, totally. Yeah. So she'd done China Brown 1 and 2. And then went back to Hong Kong and did the Inspector Wears Skirts 1, and also Lady Reporter, which came out in the West as Above the Law 2.
So a sequel to Seagal's Above the Law?
No. It's a sequel to Righting Wrongs, which was released in the West as Above the Law, which is
confusing.
It's very confusing. It's Cynthia Rothrock and Yuen Biao, and it's one of the most fantastic Hong Kong movies. Okay. And it's one of her best roles.
Right.
As a cop.
Okay, so
action
that would be kind of cool
wise,
to watch.
Yeah, it is incredible. I have it up here. I actually have it up here. I have it down there on video as Righting Wrongs. I have it on VHS as Above the Law.
Oh my god.
So I have 3 versions of it right here. Yeah. And that's another one that should be cleaned up and re-released. I think it is. It highlights both of the stars in their best roles, definitely. I love how Norton always gets prepared for a fight. Now here we go, we're in the gym. There's a couple of mats lying around just in case anyone gets hurt.
Or Cynthia breaks another finger.
Yeah. But you know, that's Hollywood, right? This is the rules of shooting in America. And this is why I tell a lot of my American friends that I meet in the film festivals, all the filmmaker friends, come to Northern Ireland.
Yes.
And let me help you shoot your film here, because there's less restrictions in terms of that you have a lot of shit a lot of red tape to get through in America shooting.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Now it's not to say we disregard.
Obviously, that wasn't.
Yeah,
her.
that was not her. It's not like we disregard safety, health, and safety stuff. That's her.
That's cool.
It wasn't. I love that move.
Yeah.
But again, Norton, when you see him here and you see him in his Hong Kong movies, he always just throws himself into it. And he's brilliant because he's a real fighter.
Yes.
before he was an actor, but he started acting much earlier than Cynthia Rothrock.
Yeah.
He is one of the more stronger characters, but she is brilliant.
She is. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. She's so fantastic. What a great use of that set, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I mean, would it be great sometime out of all of these movies on the wall to pick out the best top 10 martial arts gym fights?
Yeah.
Because there's quite a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, even in The Protector, the Hong Kong cut, Jackie gets a gym fight, but not in the American cut, he doesn't. And it's fun. It's, it's hardly a highlight, but it's a lot of fun.
But this is where the movie starts to come alive. Because I would be like,
but this is
semi-bored through
but this is typical, typical Hollywood, that ABC formula. So we're basically at sea here, where things are picking up, and this is the big finale. It's not easy to fight in denim.
No, it really isn't, because that shit would rip fuck.
But they're doing it.
They are.
And again, Rothrock.
Oh, what a move! Love it.
Yeah, look at that. Because
I mean, she's so fantastic.
But Norton, you find when you see him getting thrown about or doing the throwing about, he turns around, so you know it's him. Yeah. Whereas we do get those odd moments where Cynthia is... Now here we go. This is Cynthia with the pole.
Yes, because we can see her face.
She is a champion. She is a champion of weapons. And that's her strength. The weapons. So if you watch any movie, as soon as she grabs hold of a weapon...
you're in.
And usually a staff, yes. You're going to see the best of her. It didn't last long in this, unfortunately.
No.
Here we go. Bam! Oh, shattered.
Was shattered. He needed to go for it.
He was just taking time to reflect. You didn't have to wait long. Oh, come on. Push it, Richard. But you know what? It's inventive. It is. It's kind of like gritty at this point. Mm-hmm. But the mats crack me up. It's like you won't get hurt.
No.
I will hit you.
I've just hit you with a 50 kilo weight.
Yeah,
and
but you'll be
nothing's
okay.
Broken.
You're gonna fall on the mat.
And them two just stood there and watched the whole thing.
But look at them pretty boys. Like, that's a style you would not get away with today.
No. That's really yuppie. Oh, he did not even kick that guy. That was really badly edited.
I know.
Yeah, that yuppie culture of the mid to late 80s.
Yeah, well, he has that surfer look, but yes, all these high school boys that all had the big blonde hair, right?
Yeah.
So,
please tell me that's not the finale.
No, that's not the finale. This is it starting to ramp up a bit.
Okay, cool.
I think it's strange that suddenly after that she's totally dressed differently and going to a bit of a fair, a bit of a gathering. Have you ever seen a more moodier character? Like,
never.
It's like a teenage huff.
Yes.
But here we go. We're going to get a bit of an announcement as to what's been going on, and then obviously he's going to approach Cynthia with bum bum bum.
Oh,
the sheriff.
Oh my God, she won.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
So
happy.
He's giving.
This is real. This is really happening. Oh.
He's putting the badge that belonged to her father. How they managed to get it out of that burning car.
Oh my God! Of course.
I don't know, but hey, it was sentimental.
Clearly, the gold only melts at a certain height, right? So
obviously,
car wasn't that. Oh, here come the guns.
Here we go. That's it. Shoot the lights.
This. Yeah, this is what I love.
And the pickles.
And the pickles, yeah.
Oh,
and the watermelon.
Oh, here.
Now, don't waste beer like that. That's ridiculous.
Oh, for goodness sake. So this is obviously the scaremongering. It's not even attacking people as such or killing people. It's just to scare them and let them know that as much as she's going to be sheriff, there's going to be trouble.
Yeah. But is there a particular reason why they don't want her as sheriff?
There is, that I cannot remember. Sorry, but
that's quite alright.
It is going to be something silly, basic, kind of,
Like, he wanted it. He wanted the father dead so he could take it, probably.
Well, they're probably
comes home and...
someone's dead. They're probably drug runners or something like that. And as long as there's as long as the bad deputy sheriff is in charge, then they can get away with it.
Okay.
If she's going to do as good a job as her dad done,
has been killed here.
Yeah.
So the scaremongering actually resulted in the end of life. I didn't expect to get so invested actually in this.
No.
I was expecting to be tremendously bored. But I'm actually captivated, quite frankly.
And here's what actually...
so this is where it needs cleaned up. You can see fuck all.
Yeah. But a beautiful clean Blu-ray print of that would be, I think, actually add to the excitement of it a bit more.
Yeah.
It was also rated an 18, which I'm quite shocked at. I mean, today, I think if that got a re-release, it would be a 15.
Would it even?
Well...
Is there a bit of foul language in it?
Well, I think just with... Nah, not so much. The more the violence, but it's not violent compared to half the stuff that is released. Mm-hmm. Like, really?
No, it's not.
So how it came out as an 18, I do not know.
Different times.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean,
a different BBFC.
Oh,
when they were much stricter.
Don't get me started on the BBFC. So here we go.
I pledge my allegiance.
In my tank top. Oh, he's quite cute. In my tank top,
I will be a deputy. She has hired the sexiest deputies I've ever seen in my life.
Can you blame her?
And they're all just out of high school. Jesus Christ.
Saved by the Bell. Look, and go! Look at this! Wow, and here they go.
Okay, are we going to get a big car chase here?
This is the exciting part, isn't it? Woohoo! Because it's so unrealistic. It's hilarious.
But this is what I love.
Yeah. Dukes of Hazzard, eh?
Well, I actually kind of like that they're using like a techno soundtrack here rather than a Dukes of Hazzard type soundtrack on it.
If you keep an eye on Norton, though, when he comes to things like this, he just wants to kick ass, and you see him like that scene there, for example. He bolts, you know. He's like, I want to get in first. I don't want to punch someone, but no, I'm going to take a digger instead.
No, I'm just going to knock your fucking house down. All the druggies jumping out the top window. There we go.
Yeah, look at it. There he is, straight on them.
This is China asserting her authority right here.
Brilliant. Look at that big lad. But yeah, I mean, would you ever get together a little police force like this? To me, this is very Hong Kong. You know, grabbing a bunch of people like that aren't dressed as cops.
Here come the Stepford Wives.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
That's obviously a brothel.
Oh my God! So they're going to close this down too.
Look at these two.
Jesus.
I
can't get over this. Beaver Creek.
I know,
Jesus,
right?
Oh my God.
Now, and again, a film that we talked about with The Haunting.
Oh yes.
If this was redone and redubbed as a comedy, it would work wonders.
Mm-hmm. Oh no! Well, we won't go into that right now.
We won't go into that.
But yeah.
Is it his shirt? Are you going to talk about his shirt?
Well, I actually have pajama bottoms like that.
You mean this one? I was talking about him.
Oh, his shirt?
The old guy with the white shirt on?
Dear Lord.
That's a real cowboy shirt. Oh. Yeah.
Oh, the Beaver Creek again. There it is again. I wonder if it's a real place, actually. I would
imagine so. Is it still there today?
Is it still there?
If anyone's listening from Beaver Creek, let us know. Beaver Creek.
Or do you know whenever they do the Blu-ray releases of things and then they do the on location and they go back?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
The Beaver Creek
This brothel. Is where the Beaver Creek used to sit.
Here's the beaver.
Here's the beaver. Here's the creek.
So this is obviously the bad deputy.
Okay.
Who's obviously had who's been mingling with the bad guys the whole time to get rid of her father and the good deputy.
Okay. And
this is where they plan on taking her down so they can get in. It's just brilliant. See that look there? That's the cover, the original kind of cover with that denim kind of arms folded kind of thing. You know? But just these two are fantastic together.
They are great.
As I've said, I just wish they would make something new. I wonder, can I get them over and do something new with them? Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah, we will tag Cynthia in this commentary...
No, you will not after what you were calling her at the start.
What was I calling her?
Cynthia Rubcock or something.
Softcock.
Softcock.
It's just because I don't fancy women.
Well, no, I know that.
Nothing personal.
I can't... yeah.
To
okay.
Cynthia.
I don't know.
But we'll tag her and we'll just say...
Definitely not,
listen.
Cynthia. You know we love you. If you ever want to come over to my garage studio and see all of your movies on my wall, you're very welcome to join us. And you
we'll
too,
write
Richard.
you an amazing part.
Yeah. I would love to. I would just love to see the both of them back in action. Look at this. Is such an American shot, isn't it?
Not, yeah.
Wow. It is Hollywood written all over it.
That has Hollywood written all over it.
And
look at that face.
Yeah. Again, as with the bike stunt earlier, as he drove towards the gunman, the only times he wears a helmet is when it's not him. They've obviously got the stunt guy in. Now here's the fun times coming.
Look at that, yeah.
Wow. Double kick to the light. Bit of advertising there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bam!
This is what I love about these kind of movies. They use everything on the set.
Wow. You see that?
Ouch.
That didn't look fun at all.
And it looked real.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
It did.
Freezer to the head.
But this is what I love. They utilise the space.
Yeah.
The
totally.
objects.
Look at this pausing. You see, it wouldn't happen in a Hong Kong movie.
No. There's a lot of like staccato moments where you're kind of like
just waiting
to
be hit.
Yeah. It's almost like a countdown to woof, woof, yo.
This big guy is hilarious. All these guys in the bar, they all look alike.
They do all look alike.
There's a lot of inbreeding going on in Beaver Creek.
Well, doesn't surprise me. Oh, well done, dude. You just pulled the whole thing down.
That's hilarious.
But it is very well choreographed, and this is where you're obviously starting to see.
Yeah, this is, if people have gotten this far, which I reckon back on its release they would have.
Yeah.
This is where they're going to go, holy shit, that girl can move.
Yeah. We've
seen a few kicks and punches throughout, but this is the one where she gets to show off.
Yes. Big
time. But and Norton, again, he's just blattering everyone that he can get his hands on. He's just got such a great style, I think.
And Keith just has that look. He has that like Dacascos type look, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
That could have made him an absolute megastar.
I do wish it had have, because he does have the moves. He's in King of the Kickboxers with Lorraine Avedon, Billy Blanks, and he plays a teacher in it. I think that was probably one of his last better roles. But yeah, nothing on Heatseeker, but nothing massive. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a shame. It is. And again,
it's like in a lot of Asian films, you don't see a lot of guns.
No, you don't. You might get the odd gang popping in, but that's if it's a John Woo movie, especially.
Oh yes, yeah.
Then you're getting gunplay, but you don't get the kung fu.
Yes, but that kind of traditional kind of kung fu film, you don't see an awful lot of guns. Whereas in this film, clearly. And there's America, gun culture, Midwest, of
without
course.
A doubt.
Yeah.
And it practically is pretty much like a Western.
Yeah.
Almost like a modern day Western, isn't it? But one thing I was going to say there about Norton is he loves to get thrown around.
Really?
Like he's just, when you watch his role, he's...
I mean, does he like to he can throw me around the bedroom anytime. He's fantastic.
It was his birthday last week.
Oh, happy birthday, James.
Yeah. Not James.
James?
Who's Richard? James? Who is James? Who are you looking at?
I don't know.
We'll pretend that's his character name.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes. Yes.
It. Yeah. Comedy. Yeah. Well done, Robert Clyde.
If she had thrown that in like real life, it would cut his fucking head off.
I would. You could see his arm hanging off there. But yeah, I mean, those kind of wee moments, they should have opened with a bigger, more comedic fight. I think not in slapstick sort of fashion, but those wee moments there where there's a couple of wee funny elements. Yeah. If they had opened with a fight like that and hooked people instantly.
Yeah.
I mean, the alley fight was nice, but it wasn't amazing.
But you don't get the kind of sound effects that they did back then these days?
No.
You know, when you watch an action movie now, all the and the bombs and the crashes, you don't really
try to
get
find
that.
them for mine. I do try to kind of get in there as much of those old style sound effects, but no, you're right. There's very more realistic approach today. Ooh, yeah. Lovely big house, isn't it?
It's a gorgeous big
Look at him, he's wrecking the lawn.
He is. With his big giant gun.
He just got off that bike as quietly as possible.
He really did. It was almost like he floated off that bike straight into that barn.
Oh, here we go. So this is obviously his own showcase. While the other two are wrecking the bar, he gets to get his own wee piece, which is nice.
Yeah.
If it had led to bigger things. Unfortunately. But you know, I don't know if would Hollywood even shoot in an area or a set like this today? Would they?
No, I mean I think it would be built.
Yeah, but so they could destroy it more.
Yeah.
But also just the actual place, the actual setting. It's not.
No, it's not. It's not modern day America.
No, it doesn't ooze excitement.
This to me is the perception of American culture in that time because of the westerns. Westerns were so popular on not only cinema but on TV.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
So this is the kind of thing where this
and the TV shows such as Dallas and Dynasty, all those kind of things.
Set, yeah.
Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah. Oh God, Almighty. Never ceased to.
Well, one thing I haven't noticed, or if I can remember correctly, there's not a lot of country music, which is good.
No,
because you find that even today they would use a lot of country music or rock in Hollywood movies, which I just never think they have a great selection of music.
I just like
in
the
Hollywood
score.
movies
Actually,
now.
I'm listening.
But yeah, there is.
It's nice.
It's kind of a score written for the movie as opposed to country songs being laced throughout it.
Yeah.
Which is
which adds that daftness whenever they do that.
Yes.
I can't take the movie seriously enough.
You're right.
Whenever it's being played straight like this is. So I kind of like that 80s.
There is an 80s techno vibe to it, and it has a bit of a Hong Kong kind of tune to it, yes. So if you watch the Tiger Cage movies and earlier Hong Kong stuff, that does have the same sort of theme. Are they going to be too late? Can they?
Yeah, I mean this is not the America that people know now. Nowadays, it's more urban, industrial. That's what excites people.
And less double denim.
Less double denim. I used to rock the denim on denim.
I don't. Well, I probably did too.
I grew up in the 90s.
I probably
with Bewitched,
did too. Yeah.
So when they were coming out with their double denim,
I don't want to admit it. Probably.
I will admit to the fact that even 15 years after Bewitched split up, I went to see them in concert in double denim.
I can delete that part of this if you want.
Oh well, I'm not ashamed. Not ashamed of anything.
But yeah, it suits.
Oh my God! What the hell? Who's she?
Who did she shoot?
So she's the girl that's being held captive by him.
Bing bing, and then
bing bing.
Who did she shoot though? Him or Richard?
Oh crap!
Well, there's been no funeral, so obviously it's not Richard.
No.
But this town likes a lot of. They love their street fairs. They love
the street fairs, street barbecues.
Their market. They're kind of what do you call them? Their get-togethers. Yeah.
So is the second film much more action-packed?
There is more action. Yes. There is more action. It's just kind of let's jump into it almost. This one is a bit, as we know, is a bit more dramatized, a bit more character-driven. But now that they've built that up, they can jump into part 2.
Yeah.
But I if I can remember correctly, I just remember it not being as good. Okay. But definitely had the action. Yeah. So it did, yeah. So I'm actually looking forward to getting back to that because again, it's been 25 years since I've seen this and China O'Brien too.
So I take it. Oh, that's the end.
That's it. Over.
Oh my goodness. Wow, that was fun actually.
Yeah,
I'd like
nice
to watch
to see
it
again.
Yeah, I'd like to actually watch it
cleaned up
and actually where I can hear what they're saying.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can't comment on the script.
No.
Because I can't really hear what they're talking about.
Do you have a video player at home?
I do not,
no.
Well,
you might have to stay here for the night.
I might just have to crash here.
This is a sofa bed.
Rent out. Rent your studio.
Rent my studio and go through all my videos.
But yeah, no, it was fun. I enjoyed that.
It is fun. It is fun. As you said, you mentioned earlier, it being a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
I do believe so. But I think that falls into the hands of the producers putting such an old-fashioned director in charge of it.
Yeah.
And the old-fashioned producers too. I mean, Fred and his wife, who wrote it and produced it, they've been doing those old kind of movies, the Enter the Dragons and things like that, where they haven't really modernized their way of filmmaking.
No, but even Enter the Dragon had more action. It was more exciting. It was more faster paced.
Yes, yeah.
Whereas this,
it had a bigger Hong Kong influence.
Yeah, and
but
very clearly a larger budget than China.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh god, yeah. But that also had Bruce Lee behind it.
It did.
Who would have had a massive say as to what went where and how that worked. Yeah. But this, I mean, yeah, I think in terms of in the late 80s, putting Cynthia to the West as an action starlet, it worked. Yes. In the sense it didn't obviously explode, but it worked to let people know that she was there.
Yeah.
Because she did go on to do a ton more after this. Obviously, she went back to Hong Kong, did a few more there, and then went west again. But I'd like to see not a China O'Brien 3, but I'd like to see Rothrock and Norton coming back together here for one last kind of swan song, basically, and kicking a bit of ass.
Cool beans.
Cool beans. There we go. Thanks very much for listening and watching. Maybe you've watched it on a better version than we have, or if you have a videotape, go you. Thank you. Next up is Skin Deep.
Skinned Deep. So I'm Mark from the Celluloid Closet.
And I'm George from the movie Misfit.
And together we're the Celluloid Misfits. Bye.